My dear friends in the risen Lord, preparing as we are for the celebration of the Feast of Pentecost, we can well relate to the apostles who were huddled together in place, out of sight and apart from others, while awaiting the fulfillment of the Lord's promise, the coming of the Holy Spirit. Without question, we've been apart for way too long, and we are hungry for the nourishment that the Eucharist provides. And yes, we crave the joy and strength we receive from being with parishioners in prayer and fellowship at our parishes. As we've announced, we will begin to reopen parishes in some jurisdictions beginning on Saturday, May 30th, and Sunday, May 31st, with limited attendance permitted. It's important to note that whether your parish is in fact able to open depends on the county in which it is located. While parishes are permitted to open by the Archdiocese in jurisdictions where restrictions have been lifted, they are not required to do so. Your pastor is best able to determine when it is the right time to open, given all the necessary precautions that must be in place for your safety. With some 145 parishes across our Archdiocese, we've got to recognize that a one-size-fits-all approach just isn't possible. The needs of local communities will continue to differ, as will the directives instructing us about the safety of returning to something resembling normal interaction. As we know by now, the effects of the virus and its spread are not in any way consistent. We also know that the threat has not yet passed. For the sake of those most prone to the severe effects of the coronavirus, you and I have an obligation to abide by those guidelines. We remain committed to being vigilant and diligent in our efforts to mitigate risk of exposure for all. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your patience and continued fidelity during this long separation. Just as the saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder, we have perhaps come to appreciate even more deeply the bonds that unite and our burning desire to be in communion with one another around the altar of the Lord. At the same time, we must acknowledge that things will be different for the foreseeable future. We will need to accept these changes, which are being observed out of utmost caution while the virus threat continues. These include the need to observe social distancing and limit the number of people who can gather for masses, baptisms, weddings, and funerals. There will be no singing for the simple reason that public health officials make clear that the virus is spread by droplets emitted through breathing, coughing, sneezing, and even talking in close proximity. Protective face masks are also required at indoor masses and are strongly encouraged even at outdoor liturgies. We will not pass a basket to take up the collection at this time, but instead ask that you deposit your donations in a basket available upon entering and departing churches. We will also, as much as possible, eliminate materials in the church that invite shared physical contact, such as hymnals and bulletins. And we also strongly encourage everyone to receive the Holy Eucharist, the sacred host, in the hand instead of on the tongue, And why? It is because receiving on the hand reduces exposure to the virus for our priests, as well as for the person receiving the body and blood of Christ. We will not offer the precious blood at this time for similar reasons. We plead for your continued patience and support for our parish priests and staffs who are doing the very best they can to navigate the many burdens imposed by this threat while still caring for the spiritual needs of parishioners and keeping them safe. If you are vulnerable, sick, or simply apprehensive about gathering with others at this time, please do stay at home. The dispensation from the obligation to attend Sunday Mass remains in effect through phase 2 of our reopening. Many locations will continue to offer Masses online for the time being and perhaps well into the future. I want to also direct you to a full overview of the steps we are taking and a further explanation of our reopening plan, all found on our Archdiocesan homepage. There is a very helpful animated video at www.archbalt.org. This animation provides a good overview of what you can expect when you return to Mass. Most importantly of all, I urge you, as I urge myself, to demonstrate charity, continued patience, continued understanding, as together we adapt to these circumstances and continue to be mindful of the risks that are still very real. May God the Father, who unites us always and in every place with the abiding love of his Son and the constant presence of their Holy Spirit, sustain and protect you in these still uncertain days. And my friends, I look forward to being with you soon. God bless you and God keep you.